Seoul, South Korea. As schoolyard cliques go, the triumvirate of premium German small sedans has always been nastily effective. Sure, the gang's leadership sometimes swaps around, favoring whichever one has the latest engineering or marketing trick, but what they do even more effectively than beating each other is blocking out the new kids. Lexus and Infiniti came over all friendly and were derisively turned away. The Jaguars and the Alfa-Romeo Giulia have been treated with disdain, too, even if they arrived with style and, for now, EU passports. It's mostly because, as they've always done, the BMW 3 Series, the Audi A4, and the Mercedes-Benz C-Class compete so ferociously with each other that they barely notice anybody else. But they'll notice the Genesis G70. They will notice because the G70 is so comprehensively good that anybody who skipped beyond the badge could easily think it came from within the German clique. Specifically, it feels like a combination of the best parts of the one from Munich and the one from Stuttgart. It could pass for an M car from the rear three-quarter view, but with a lower, wider, more ready-to-pounce stance, though the front end is less resolved. And from the driver's seat, its balance, poise and assurance do what a 3 Series does, only sometimes better and more cheerfully, with cleaner lines of communication. It's not just good, though. It's critically good. And it's not just that the G70 is Genesis aiming right into the heartland of the German automaker's cash flow, but that the G70 is really the first purebred Genesis, following the more Hyundai-based G80 and G90 luxury cars. The aim of the carefully poached dream team of Genesis designers, marketers and engineers was to make a beautiful car that was brilliant to drive. They got one of those things unerringly right, and the other is a bit more controversial. The figures are right there on size for all of the German rivals, and most of everybody else, too. Its 184.4-inch length runs 2.4 inches longer than the 3 Series, while its 111.6-inch wheelbase is a neat inch longer. It's also nearly 2 inches wider, but the F30 BMW is a scratch over an inch taller at the roofline. The G70's charge into the US will be led by a 3.3-liter V6 turbo engine, complete with about 365 horsepower and 376 pound-feet of torque, with the MY 2019 models not arriving here until March or April next year. The numbers are not yet locked away. At 4.7 seconds for a sprint to 62 miles per hour and a 167 mile/hour top speed, the V6 will effectively sit right on top of the BMW 340i and the X-Drive version of the Bavarian sports sedan. How close is it? Well, the G70 3.3T will have an advantage of more than 40 horsepower to the Bavarian, plus it gristles out another 52 pounds-to-foot of torque, at least when comparing factory ratings. Beneath that will be a turbocharged 2.0-liter four-cylinder engine. Both versions will be available in rear and all-wheel drive and with mechanical limited-slip differentials are attached to all the rear ends. Compared to the BMW 330i X-Drive, the G70 2.0-liter motor has exactly the same power but an extra 7 pounds-to-foot of torque. There's a